Hello, my name is Michael Fischer. I'm a part of Group 2, and today I'll be elaborating on China's higher education reform. I want to begin introducing the SEC, which is the State Education Commission. They wanted to change the way that things worked through four different channels. The first being joint development, the second, restructuring, merging, and cooperation. Through changing these four different things, they help to better the education system. The SEC was a predecessor of the MOE, which stands for the Ministry of Education. The SEC's plan was to increase China's competitiveness in the global market. One way they planned to do this was through Project 211. Project 211's goal was to create progress in teaching, research, and administration. They aimed to do this by introducing money into the education system. A total of 36 billion won was invested between the ninth and 10th five-year plan. While this introduced money into the education system, which helped build the four separate areas I just mentioned, it still created large ties between government and education. If the state remains a central player in allocating resources, appointing personnel, and conferring status on basis other than meritocracy, what troubles Chinese universities today will continue to trouble Chinese universities tomorrow, with or without a formal administrative rank. To continue, I'd like to mention that China's education has undergone many changes, particularly from the mid 1990s. The restructuring, coupled with the introduction of tuition and fees, has generated additional resources for Chinese universities. As I mentioned in the slide before, the government has introduced large amounts of money into the education system. By doing this, they have increased resources, but have also done the same for the government ties in education. Through these initiatives, they have raised the number of enrollees have increased several fold. Following the SEC was the MOE, the Ministry of Education. A word that can be associated with this is bureaucratization. This is basically the connection that government has within the education system. They have created a multi-tiered system. This is similar, but not the same, to America's ranking of schools. While the US has Ivy Leagues and UC systems following, and then the CSU, the Chinese education system has the same, but in that case, only the top tiered schools are given any credit, and many of the lower tiered colleges are devalued and not seen as being useful in life. Therefore, many Chinese students who cannot get into the top tier of systems will look outside of the country, sometimes at Ivy League schools in the US. China's universities are no different from government departments because the government has had such connection in the education reform, they have strong pull within the system still. Bureaucratization is the relationship, or can be considered relationship between professors and government. One point I'd like to make is that doctorate degrees are being achieved with little to no effort. Because the education system seeks to put out high ranking degrees, the connection between government and teachers is very strong. This devalues the quality of education that you receive in these institutions. Professionalism is also lacking, meaning that professors are not doing what they should be, rather they are following orders from government officials because of the ties that they have. The growing concern that the reform is unsuccessful. It is not creating world-class scholars. Rather than truly teaching these students, they are more concerned about creating degrees. Universities are no less corrupt than other sectors. Just like the country was based on communism, the same type of relationships have now been created between the government and the education system. The root problem is not in Chinese universities per se, but in the relationship between universities and government. Thank you very much.